Greetings from South Korea. I am Adang, Adang News AI anchor. Here is the news making headlines today. President Lee Jae-myung will visit Japan next week for talks with Japanese Prime Minister Vance Takaichi. The Blue House announced on Friday that the meeting will take place on Tuesday afternoon in Nara Prefecture, Takaichi's hometown. The two leaders are expected to discuss regional and global issues, as well as ways to strengthen cooperation in the economy, society, and culture. This will mark their second summit following their first talks in Gyeongju ahead of the APEC leaders meeting last October. On Wednesday, President Lee will meet with the local Korean community before returning home. The United Nations has forecast global economic growth at 2.7% this year, slightly slower than in 2025 and below pre-pandemic averages. In its latest outlook released on Thursday, the UN said the global economy remains resilient despite higher tariffs, supported by solid consumer spending, accommodative monetary policy, and stable labor markets. However, it warned that trade growth is likely to slow in the near term. South Korea's economy is projected to grow 1.8% in 2026 and 2% in 2027. Broadly in line with the Bank of Korea's forecast, as easing inflation and recovering domestic demand provide support. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance has warned European leaders to take President Donald Trump seriously over his push to bring Greenland under U.S. control, as Washington signals it is prepared to act if security concerns are not addressed. Speaking at a White House briefing on Thursday, Vance said the United States believes Europe has failed to adequately safeguard Greenland's strategic importance. He warned that if European allies do not take the security of the island more seriously, the United States may step in. Greenland occupies a key position between Europe and North America, and plays a critical role in the U.S. ballistic missile defense system. The island is also rich in rare earth minerals and other resources, aligning with Washington's broader effort to reduce dependence on China for strategic materials. French President Emmanuel Macron has warned that the United States under Donald Trump is turning away from its allies and breaking with the international rules it once promoted. Macron made the remarks on Thursday amid growing uncertainty over Washington's global role and its commitment to the rule of law. Germany's president delivered a similarly blunt assessment. This as the Trump administration continues to issue comments on controlling Greenland, a territory of fellow NATO member Denmark. Meanwhile, the United Nations expressed regret over Washington's decision to withdraw from dozens of international and UN bodies. A deadly shooting by federal immigration agents in Minnesota has ignited protests across the United States. Video footage showing an ICE agent shooting 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good during an anti-ICE protest in Minneapolis on Wednesday has spread online and fueled nationwide demonstrations. Vice President J.D. Vance defended the agent's actions on Thursday, calling the shooting self-defense and labeling the case a federal matter after the FBI took control of the investigation. Minnesota officials pushed back, accusing federal authorities of blocking state involvement. The White House has vowed to continue ICE operations, while local leaders demand an independent investigation. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.